Here's the breaking news. I'm going to put this up. This is from Kyle Griffin. Breaking. In a 6-3 ruling, the conservative justices just ruled that nationwide injunctions likely exceed the authority Congress has given the courts. In doing so, the court is narrowing nationwide injunctions that block Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. NPR is reporting Supreme Court limits nationwide injunctions in birthright citizenship order. Forbes also reporting as well. The Supreme Court lets parents opt kids out of LGBT. That's books in school. That's another ruling here. Okay, but let's get to this ruling that limits the injunctions on birthright citizenship. And let's bring in Maria Cardona. Maria Cardona is not only a friend, she's a former co-worker, colleague. She is a CNN contributor, and she is also a Democratic strategist and a longtime immigration rights activist. Maria, it's so good to see you. I miss you. I'm sorry we're having to say hello again with this. Basically, explain to us, because you are, this is a long fight that you have been fighting for a long time, an issue that you've been fighting for a long time. What does this ruling mean? What does this do?
Okay, so first of all, Don, gracias. Thank you for having me on, my friend. I miss you. I love you. It's so great, everything that you're doing on so many platforms. The country thanks you for all these great conversations that you're having. So let me just caveat with the decision that just came down on the birthright citizenship is not a decision on the merits itself. And we're going to have to see exactly how all this plays out. But this is clearly a huge win for the executive powers of the presidency. And in my opinion, we have reached the Imperial Presidency in a way that has never been there before. The president of the United States today has more power than he has ever had before, than the office has ever had before. And that kind of power in the hands of someone like Donald Trump is incredibly concerning. And on this issue in particular, and again, we have to wait until all of this is analyzed to figure out what it means. But right now, Don, what it means is that there could be children who are born in specific districts, in specific places in this country that ultimately will not have U.S. citizenship, as it is guaranteed under the Constitution. Now, what I am being told is that this issue on the merits still is going to continue to play out in the courts. I can imagine that once this goes out, if the administration puts out guidance on how to implement taking away birthright citizenship from the children of undocumented immigrants, which is what the executive order was, they want to do this nationwide, which means that if you are a child that is born in this country to parents that do not have legal documentation or the right to be here, you do not have U.S. citizenship. That is what the administration wants to implement. Right now, the U.S. Constitution guarantees, and there's language in the 14th Amendment that says anyone who is born in the United States and its territories and under the jurisdiction thereof has the right to receive U.S. citizenship. That's what this administration is trying to take away. Now, what it is going to do is inject even more panic and chaos in my community, in immigrant communities across the country. And people are not going to know exactly what that means for the status of their kids. If you're an undocumented parent, if I'm an undocumented mom today and I'm pregnant here in the United States, and let's say I've been living here for 10 to 20 years, working and raising a family and helping to inject trillions of dollars into our economy, and I'm pregnant today, I'm terrified. I am terrified.
Maria,
that child might not have a U.S. citizenship.
Let me ask you, because we're watching the chat and we, on this platform, we get to respond to our viewers immediately, which is one of the great things about this platform. Many folks in the chat, my producer is saying, many folks in the chat are asking if this is retroactive. I believe this is what they really want to know, but it's not retroactive. But go on.
No, I do not believe it is retroactive. And in fact, I just want to be very clear that we still don't really know what the ultimate effect of this will be, because I suspect that if, let's say, the administration puts out guidance in 30 days on how they want to implement taking away birthright citizenship, there will be lawsuits immediately, right, in those jurisdictions where they want to implement this. And so, again, I think that this will not come into play. It will not become vigorous for a while. But what it does do, Don, and this is where my heart hurts, and if I think about it too much, I will start crying on your air. My community is in a panic because they don't know what it means. They've already had ICE coming into their workplaces, these jackbooted thugs snatching people off the streets without saying who they are or why they are taking such and such a person without any criminal record, right? This already has created panic in so many communities across the country, as you have seen, and you have covered this as well. This is yet another layer of panic and uncertainty that we're going to have to live with for quite a while until we understand exactly what this means. Now, again, I just want to be very careful not to blanket this to say, birthright citizenship no longer exists. That's not true, right? That is not true. We still have birthright citizenship in this country, but the attacks on it from the current Supreme Court is going to make it more difficult to ensure that that right continues to be a solid right without the fear of it being taken away, because this administration desperately wants to take that away. Brought to you by one Stephen Miller, and you and I have talked about this plenty of times on other airs.
And we both have met him, and we've been on a number of panels with him on CNN and other places. Exactly. What's the reaction from the community? And Maria, I'm sorry, when you say if you think about it too much that you're going to cry, there are folks now who are saying they're crying and they're heartbroken. What's the reaction?
The reaction, Don, is that this is not the country that my family came to when I was 2 years old. That my family pulled up roots from Colombia to give us a better future. And this country has been nothing but amazing to me and my family. I have been nothing but blessed in getting to do what I have wanted to do because of what my parents sacrificed coming here. And we were lucky. We, came over here legally. We did it right because at the time there were not as many barriers to doing it right? So there's so many in my community who have come here fleeing violence, fleeing poverty, fleeing the lack of opportunity, fleeing warfare in so many of the places where they come from because of the promise of this country. And they have, up until now, been welcomed with open arms because, as you know, Don, the vast majority of immigrants in this country come here to give their kids a better life, and they work back-breaking jobs that native-born Americans do not want to do. And the work from immigrants has contributed, and this comes from economists across the spectrum, trillions of dollars to our economy. And in fact, those same economists have said that if the mass deportations happen and if this birthright citizenship executive order happens, our economy is in a world of hurt because our economy needs more workers, not less. But from the standpoint of what this country has meant to immigrants, that is being struck down. It is having a death by 1,000 cuts. It's having a death by 1,000 xenophobic executive orders and policies that are being implemented by this racist, xenophobic administration.
Maria Cardona, I am so grateful to you. But first of all, I'm grateful for your friendship and your love. And I've met your entire family, and yes. I love them. And I believe they love me as well.
They adore you, Don.
So, Maria, I thank you for coming on and explaining this to us. Maria is just an amazing person who has been fighting for immigration rights and an advocate for such a long time, and she is also a singing contributor. You can watch her there. And where can my viewers, all 750 some thousand subscribers and millions on social media, where do they get you? How can they get your content?
Thank you so much for asking. I'm on Substack, so would love for people to go and subscribe. I'm going to launch my show on Substack in mid-July, and that is at Real Maria Cardona. And then on Twitter, now X, at Maria T. Cardona, and on Instagram, at Maria Cardona DC. Thank you to you, Don. Thank you to all of your amazing viewers and subscribers and listeners. You are on every single platform, Don, which I love, 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 love. And I can't wait to come on with you again. The more, as we learn more about what this means exactly, would love to continue to come on and explain to
you will. And we'll do a Substack.
Audience.
Of course, and we'll do a Substack in July.
Oh, okay? I would love that. Let's do that. Right. Okay.
Thank you. Be well, my friend.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, see you later.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.